Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Strategic Command in World War II over here, playing as the Allies. It is December 1941 and it is time to hand it over towards the Axis turn, so let's see whether the Germans will advance during the winter. British people welcome the US entrance into the war, of course they do, and that should be very lovely. Italy fears the US entrance into war, of course they should. German people fear that, Soviet people welcome that. Anything else? Here we go. General Stilwell is available to command Chinese forces. This is, greatly assist the Chinese in their fight. Command any Chinese unit that might be sent to assist the British Indian forces in the defense of Burma. We'll boost Chinese national morale, otherwise we can use him to set up command in the US. So, I actually think we don't want to do that because China has been cleansed pretty much of Japanese forces. There are a surprising number of Japanese forces around here and down here towards Singapore, and that is. I think there were some ground attack weapons. That's also very good progress. US develops ground attack weapons. Yes, that is a good consequence of that. So yeah, I think there are some supplies being lost over here in the Murmansk convoys. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Apparently a submarine on the northern lines over there. Turn is being handed over towards the Axis, so let's see what they are going to do with that. Specifically in Russia, of course. Will they do winter offensive in December 1990s? No, but they are going to declare war on the Dutch East Indies. It is a little bit awkward with our ships standing around over here. Also declaring war on the Philippines. We are getting some forces over here, that is good to see. And they are declaring war on Thailand, that is interesting. I think historically that was more of an ally of them. So yeah, let's see what the offensive will bring. North Africa, Germans seem to be withdrawing a little bit, which is sensible since they are losing out their supplies. And over here, southern Soviet front. I suspect that they will start the bombing run soon, since the weather is apparently clear. Although at least our fighters should be able to provide some air cover now. There we go, some enemy contact with these light cruisers. Yeah, the Japanese are really better than we are, in a sense. And I think are they at war against the Americans yet? Yeah, that was really, really awkward. Enemy contact over here, that is off the coast of Ireland, that is in the North Sea. And there we go, that is I guess the strike on Pearl Harbor, is it? Yeah, we're losing battleships. A day that may live in infamy. Yeah, so they do have very strong elements over here, I have to say. Sinking 2 of our battleships, that's a catastrophic result, of course. So they were actually able to do that. Huh. I did kind of not expect that. Some air campaigns over here in... Ooh, good result. These guys are fighting this out. They are really... They've taken such a big toll on the Germans. These guys are reinforcing, trying to break into Vilnius. Not successful though. And Kaunas. Not successful. Some attacks down here on these special forces. That seems to be one of their main targets actually. We did lose the entrenchment over there. Yeah, they are circling troops, but the Germans are losing a little bit of their swing over here, I have to say. Some of the allies not even making any impressions on us. Japanese forces being cornered in, well, Japan. These guys are done for. Ooh. Pretty good defense down there. And there we go, some Japanese landings on the Philippines. Yeah, there will be a tough fight over here. Enemy contact? Ooh, very nice. So that they ran into us with our forces over there. Losing so many units over here. Horrible results. So yeah, we kind of expected Japan to do something. Did not quite expect them to be so aggressive in the south, in Southeast Asia though. Although of course this is somewhat historical. I think we did not lose a single, well we did lose a unit. Really? The submarines? We did lose a unit on the Soviet front. The one that was defending Brest-Litovsk. Are you sure you don't want to pull back these guys? We'll have to see about that. Submarines are over here. It's a little bit surprising that you don't pull these guys back. With the artillery forward. Are you guys stuck because you can't move due to the destroyers? Yeah. Yeah, USA is losing a lot of Guadalcanal. Japan plunders. Salomon surrenders. Thailand surrenders already. They will push over. Brunei prepares for war. The Royal Sovereign deploys for service. That is very good. And we have a 10th army forming in. Arrives in Australia. Good to see. Japanese bombers arrive over there. Brunei and Burma. Sarawak. Okay, so basically all of Southeast Asia is joining our side, including Hong Kong. That is very nice to see. United Nation. Very, very good over here. There's another supply line. I'm guessing that's for the Japanese. And here we are, it is our turn. I think we might be going through this a little bit quicker. So we did lose the Arizona, we did lose the California light cruiser. Strategic bombing wing destroyed. Where was that? I didn't even see that. Vendetta destroyer sunk. And third army destroyed. Oh my, lots of things going on. Here we go. Upcoming conference in Rio de Janeiro with several Latin American countries should give us a platform to openly encourage some of them to join the war effort. Are divided and some contain strong pro-Axis sentiments, but some Argentinian financiers and industrialists appear to favour us. With a little support they could gain sufficient strength to win the upcoming elections. So, it would cost us quite a bit actually. And then... How much do we want to spend on this really? You know what, the UK historically did play diplomatically, so let's do some mobilization over there. Right, that's it in terms of decision, so let's have a look at the Soviet front down here in the south first. So everything here seems to be in order, the line has pretty much held out. So let's reinforce the special forces. Over here these guys... I guess we could move out the light tanks or the heavy cruisers. Sorry, these guys. Move in someone else in their stead. Let's slightly damage these Italian tanks. Then move you out towards that city. Move in this core. And then that should be fine. So these guys are now all reinforced. And that is plentiful. I guess we should reinforce these guys. so that we can move them in next time. You're fortifying, that's okay. And some fighters down here? Yeah, they are there. There's some guys over here that aren't even upgraded. That you should definitely receive. And then we can think about the situation up here. Could inflict minor damage on the Germans. With an attack over there. We also have these tanks. Could send you over here. And some of these attacks would look really good. For example, on these Hungarians. Let's try to take them out at least a little bit. Nice, very nice. We didn't shatter them, but it was very nice to push them back a little bit at least. So that should put a little bit of a gap in their front lines actually over here. Could attack over here. Again, you could attack, do some damage, and then maybe follow up with these tanks. Could also try to get over here and attack these fighters. They are menons that we certainly would like to defeat. Also come down here and attack the headquarter, the Italian headquarter over there. That should improve our situation likewise, at least a little bit. Although I'm mindful whether I can retreat behind friendly lines over here. Let's park that decision for now. Let's look at the extreme north. Some attacks that are possible but not necessarily useful. So let's simply reinforce these guys. Your readiness and morale is okay. Can be reinforced. You could make some attacks. How is your readiness? 60%, 53. You also need to be upgraded to better tanks. You need to be reinforced. Yeah, likewise, I think. Just make sure that all you guys are doing pretty well. And then we do have some bases for advances over there. It's a pity we lost that area. But all in all, we are holding out over here somewhat decently. You have very low readiness and morale. Should actually bring up the army in your stead. But how is the supply over here? Yeah, I don't really want to get into the Pripyat marshes too much. Push up with the army. Pull back the core. Yeah, let's bring you back. Send you instead forward. Should be alright. Fighters need to be reinforced. Sorry, I just needed to check whether they are upgraded. They are. That is good. Could do some bombing runs. Notably over here. These fighters could attack these fighters? No, you cannot. This isn't really tempting. Why would we do that? No. Everything else over here is fine. No upgrades possible, no reinforcements. Just fine and dandy. Happy. Oh, no, you actually need to be upgraded. These fighters, sorry, these paratroopers. Can we ask you to set mode prepare? Yes. So we will be able to paratroop you into somewhere. So we have these two Luftwaffe fighters. Oh, sorry, 8 Luftwaffe fighters. Okay, let's first bring up our light cruisers over here. Conduct our traditional bombardment of enemy airfields that are conveniently located on the coast. Some attacks possible over here, but possible is not necessarily advisable. Yeah, really not. So, you know, you are okay. So it is really about bringing up the tanks. Okay, let's bring up the tanks over here. Let's attack the air fleet. And then I can't pull you back. Should be fine though. Or does that mean we want to attack these guys so that these guys can't gang up on us? Let's do it. Nice, very good result actually. And even more so, that makes me a very happy bunny. You have attacked. You kind of shouldn't attack, I feel. You have attacked. You... No point doing this. Certainly no point doing any of that. And no point doing this. Okay, so the south is fine. And the north over here is somewhat decent, actually. Your readiness is building up. I mean, we could move you up and attack over here. Your readiness is okay. You'd be exposed to some counterattacks. But it would wear them pretty thin, I feel, so... Yeah, still. Still, these heavy tanks just aren't good enough. Well, I certainly do hope that we are not losing them. Could move you guys up, but you're entrenched, so let's keep them where they are. I think that's fine. In terms of new units, have we got anything as the Soviets? Indeed we do. We have one mechanized group, which I do think we want to put down here, so that we have some troops being capable of moving up. And we do have some engineers, which are very interesting for us, of course. So we are building a second line down here, and we have a group of engineers who are doing exactly that, which I think is fine. But other than that, what else could we consider? So there might be a decent line over here on Orsha, so that they are not advancing via Gomel. This area is of course very strong as well, and we could simply think about building an area over here that connects all of these river fortresses. Yeah, I think that would be a very strong line actually. So we need to probably connect that over here or over here. Let's actually build this position up. So set mode, fortify, rotate that this way, and then we'll get a fort over there in case we do get pushed back. Although that nicely looks less and less likely. So actually what I want to do then in terms of the Soviet Union is do some research and do some anti-aircraft defense research. And that should really be good. Command and control would be nice, but we don't really have enough money. So let's purchase some more units as USSR. Some anti-air units might also be nice. Cavalry units. There are some armies that we should be replacing, but which we can't right now. So let's instead bring up a couple of new corps. And that should at least be helpful. Good, very good. Yeah, so I think for the Soviets that's basically it. Not much else that you guys can do. Oh, except for over here. We do know that there's a German submarine somewhere on this line. So we over there. So we should be looking for that. We also know about these two German submarines and this one over here. But that is something that the Western Allies do need to deal with. Other than that, I do feel what we could do is set you to be a radar and come up on this line as well, so that we are blocking these supplies for the Germans at least a little bit. Could come down here and do some shore bombardments, although this is a city. Well, let's come down here. Attack these guys and withdraw. Just reducing their situation a little bit. And their supply situation over there. That is fine, I believe. And means we shouldn't be able to upgrade anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Shouldn't be... Oh, yeah, these engineers could be reinforced. You could be brought up to super strength. Although I don't think that's worthwhile. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with things as they are for the Soviet Union. Right, so let's dive into the other conflicts. I think what we do want to do first then is to have a look at the submarine group over here that is sitting in the North Atlantic. So luckily we do have a couple of destroyer units moving around over here. Some of which are actually good at spotting and killing submarines. Some of which are not that good. So for example the you did your strike, you did your strike. Let's bring you over here. For example, the American destroyers over here simply aren't that great at attacking. Oh, can you get an upgrade? Oh, it's on the advanced fighters. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, the American destroyers simply aren't that great at killing submarines yet. And they simply haven't really gotten the technology for that, so... Let's bring it up over here. Interesting, what's over here? Why can I not go there? Interesting. Oop. Come on. Why can't you attack? Oh, it's raining all over the place. Unfortunate. So that means we only have our American destroyers over here being able to maybe do some damage, but maybe even not. So yeah, and we do have these Colombian Canadian destroyers who are under strength though. And I would rather like to bring to base, but apparently we can't do that. These guys need to be reinforced. Is there anything else that we can bring over here? The battleship? How about these destroyers? Oh yeah, no, they have used their strikes. Bringing these guys over here. Let's at least sort of box these guys in. And then the carriers can come over to increase their technological level. Good! Good, good, good. Okay, then let's have a look at the submarines over here. There is this one and this one. And the area over here is actually clear, so what we might want to do then is... Oh, you can't be attacked in that fjord, so let's try to bomb you out of there. Good results, good hits. Yeah, come on, give me another good one. Ah. How about the fighters? Can you strafe them? You can strafe. But that doesn't really sink ships, does it? Okay, so we do have our carriers then. Bring up the carrier. Nice, there we go. Did manage to sink a submarine. That is always a very happy result. So the destroyers should be able to take a shot at these submarines, but let's... Oh, they are diving away. I knew it. There we go. There it is. You're out of shots. You can take a shot at these guys. You can take a shot at these guys. Where have you gone? You need to come back into a base. Okay, that's fine. Then we do have these destroyers. Let's get you to attack over there. You need to come to base. Can you reach? You cannot reach over there. Can you reach? No. Fighters, again, pointless. Destroyers, you don't have any strikes, you don't have any strikes, you don't have any strikes. You do. Nice. Don't dive away all of the time. Spoil sport. Could reinforce... Well, let's bring up this light cruiser. Over here. Come on. Just how much damage would that do to these guys? We could go over here, try to strike these guys, but they won't be there exactly, and I know for a fact where these guys are. Even though we don't seem to be able to strike these guys to a sufficient degree. Which is kind of frustrating, to be honest. Could bring out the battleships, but there's really no point doing that. What could we upgrade for the battleships? Oh, the anti-submarine warfare technology. Yeah, that's pointless. Let's reinforce them then. Let's reinforce the light cruisers over here. The battleship over here could be reinforced, but I would much rather send it to port actually. To a proper port on the English coast so that we can reinforce it entirely. Yeah, and then we are sort of out of options to attack these submarines over there. Yeah, really nothing that can be done. This battleship needs to be upgraded. I think it does make sense to look at the research for the UK and build up more anti-submarine warfare technology. In the long term, that is something that we do need. And we do need some command and control. And I would actually like some infantry warfare. And potentially armored warfare. But for now, let's do the infantry technology like that. You can't be reinforced. Light cruiser is no good at doing damage to submarines. And you can't even go there. Which is pathetic. Can't upgrade you, can't upgrade. I would really like to destroy these guys. But I can't. Just to check, there is a German garrison over there. Not that surprising really, but still good to see. Okay. Right, that more or less does it for you guys. So let's make sure that our destroyers are capable of supporting our submarine, our carriers. I really would like to lose a carrier due to submarine attack. Yeah, has to be this way. Fine. Everything else over here, alright. Some light cruisers. Some American battleships, so I'm tempted to pull the Americans back towards the Pacific. Bring you over here. And sort of that way. And you could potentially actually get there, couldn't you? Not quite, but nearly. Yeah, and then the UK will deal with the Germans, while the Americans are making their way over towards the Pacific. Pulling off the entire fleet over here. Let's keep a heavy cruise over here, just as sort of a token defense. And I think that should be fine. We'll probably pull these destroyers back later on so that we can bring up our reinforcements towards the UK and other regions. But for now, I think that's fine. So, unfortunately, I do need to put in a cut in here and deal with the Mediterranean area and Southeast Asia next time. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.